Yes, I'm working. Hello, this is Ellie Barnes, and this is going to be my Instagram and Facebook video that I promised I would make. Last week, Mimi Eubanks and I got on Instagram to do a split screen conversation as an interview between two witches, because all of us who work at Hex and Omen are sort of disenfranchised right now. We're all working at home, and so we made a little program with Fallon, who helped us tremendously to connect so we could talk together, do readings together, answer questions, and talk about what's happening in New Orleans and the shop. And we did it, and we were successful in our sound, but we were not successful in our video. Their screen was frozen. We could see and hear each other just fine, and we had a great chat. It was really nice to visit. But it failed as a technological event. So since then, I have done a few different computer cleanup things. I have a really great technical guy who helps me with everything, and I have really great equipment, and I didn't have the best internet. I upgraded my internet. I didn't have Gigablast. For God's sake, I didn't order Gigablast. Okay, so I'm trying to get more internet, which I did. I did a speed test. It's way better now. So I'm here to do a couple things really quickly, and I'm going to put this video on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to shuffle my cards and do 2 sets of readings, one on the United States for the next 7 months. I decided to go all the way through November. I'm just curious what's going to happen. And 7 months for New Orleans because of coronavirus. I'm going to focus on current events, politics, health, money. And then if I was going to do these live, I decided not to. I'm out here in my little workshop away from the people I'm living with, my dear family, but you know, it's been, well, actually, I don't think I think March 20th was my last day at the shop. So for me, this is week 3. Ed's been home a week longer than I have. And you all know my dear father, Richard Earl Barnes, is with me in the winter, and he's still here, stuck in a city that he thinks is highly unusual. So I was going to do this live, but I'm not. I'm out here because I'm too likely to get interrupted. Live video. I might try it next week. Leanne Marama went on live on Facebook and had hundreds of people sitting at her feet. I'm not that ambitious. I don't think I'll have hundreds of people commenting and checking into my live Facebook video, but it's a goal. I really want to try to get there. So in the future, I'll be live and you guys can text me some questions. In the meantime, if any of you are watching this video, clients or friends or interested people, and you'd like to get me to answer a quick question for you with channeling and tarot, even crystal ball, I thought might be fun for people to see live. People don't use crystal balls a lot anymore. I like them. I think they're a really cool tool, especially for raw psychism, you know. So yeah, send me some questions, and on the next video I'll answer them. I'll pull a card or two. I really am a 3-card person. All right, so I'm focusing on the United States in the aspects of our health for the citizenry, the systems, the medical systems, the government, the money, you know, how things roll for the United States for the next 8 months. I want to cover through the beginning of November. I really want to see what happens to politics because of the coronavirus. But I want to see, really what I'm looking for is markers about the economy opening back up, travel being more easy to facilitate, comfort of the people. I'm doing readings on this for people all the time. I'm reading at home every day except Tuesdays. Today, my day off. Yeah, I'm watching everybody's readings. Don't get me wrong. I have been for a couple months because I kept seeing some disruption in the spring, and I thought it was the stock market. And I was like, oh, it's going to have a pretty big shake up, or the housing market. But I didn't think it was coronavirus. I wasn't really thinking that. Well, anyway, we've still had some nice shakeups with the stock market and the housing market. N'est-ce pas? Right. So anyway, King of Cups wasn't love all this time. It was the doctor in the water. All right, how's the U.S. going to do in the next 7 months? Will you show me what happens? Go above our brains into the infinite field, finding true and accurate facts. Bring those down to us, onto the table, into the reading. The universe is infinite. It contains all information. We're seeking truth and finding it now in ways we understand comfortably and easily. for our viewers. So must it be. I didn't say how many cards I'm going to put down. 8, I guess, right? 1 a month. I like that. Oh. No, I love this. I'm going to show them all to you. Rest of April into May. Not too good. High death numbers. Sorry. It's just going to be true. It's just going to be true. We've got really high death numbers here in New Orleans. We do. We're still at home. We're still at home. June, beginning of June, we've got some unburied folks. I'm sorry to say it. Some freezers are opened up and some people get buried late. They're done properly and with great care and respect. And the spiritual message is clear that even in times of stress, we can be patient and do the right thing spiritually. We're beginning to see a little bit of movement at the end of May and the middle of June for a little bit of travel. It's restricted. I think a lot of people will have to be checking in and out. June, solidly, is better. You can see your sweetie again. If you live at a distance and you haven't been with your mate because you guys don't live up together, that's going to happen in June. Help arrives. I love it. It's like, you've battled off the Indians for like 15 or 17 months on your own, and then finally 6 guys show up with a cannonball, and you're like, thanks for helping. And I don't mean that against the Indians. I don't mean them as a people. I just meant them as some warring group. I'll have to take that back. April, May, June, July, August. Figuring out how to begin to make money again. We'll be making some money in August. It won't be quite enough, so we'll be kind of rearranging some things. September, money is beginning to be doled out more. This is really interesting that it takes such a long time for aid and loans and etc. to kind of percolate through. I think one of the problems is a lot of Americans weren't in great shape when this thing started. So now they're backing up probably 5 or 6 years of accomplishment financially, personally, without any savings or really good padding, and they're going backwards, and they have a lifestyle of 2020. There's going to be a lot of really nice antiques and jewelry for sale. So those of you with cash, it's called disaster economics. Real estate too. If you want to, you can really sweep in and get some great deals from people who are selling expensive things because they need food money. But the money's flowing a little bit by August and September. There's a reorganization of banking. October, government and military, National Guards, IRS. Some strong messages and agreements and information will be sent out around the world, not just in the United States, with what are the requirements going forward with coronavirus medically and in order to travel and work, and who is going to be asked to stay home. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite the same for a while. I don't think we're just going to click a button and we're going to be like, okay, la la la, back to the way it was in, early February in New Orleans or the United States. I'm going to look at New Orleans next. I think there's going to be new laws. April, May, June, July, August, September. June, July, August, September, October, November. So that was October. November. Is that right? May, June, July, August, September, October, November. You know what? Also with politics, I'm going to read this as the same power that's there today. It may not be the same person, but it's the same power. Businesses, real estate, moving manufacturing back to the United States. Farming's taking a really big hit. Going to be some major land grabs watch out for opening up national parks for more resource grabbing. I want to go back to the Indians. I actually do want to go back to the American Indians. I'm seeing them visually strongly now. Something's going to be going on with their lands. People that are maybe a little bit more knowledgeable about that, you know, keep your eye out for that kind of stuff. Resources, mineral rights, logging, waterways, pipelines, eminent domain. So it'll all be under the auspices of we have to do this for national security and the net welfare of the population. That's what they've said in the Roman Empire too. I predict that the powers that be are still in power after the election. The people may change, but not the power. Okay, that's the United States. Let's do New Orleans. I'm not going to do that many cards. I want to talk about a couple other things, and I don't want this video to be too long. It's at 11 minutes. My goal was like 18 minutes. That was pretty bleak too. You know, I usually when I have to go on live, like when I read and Mimi and I were pulling cards, we were both showing really nice, happy things. Mimi and I are just nice and happy, and I think our energy together was just ebullient, and we just couldn't see anything negative. This is mimicking what I'm seeing for my clients. It is. Not impossible, and you know, I'm a scientist. I'm maybe a little bit more of a pessimist. I read with the Marseille deck for myself. It's hard hitting. There's no psychology in the Marseille deck. It's just like, yeah, it tells me. I know what it tells me, but it doesn't fluff it up with, oh, but you're really so sweet. It's like, no, you're just dumb. Anyway, it doesn't say that to me all the time, though, thank God. Let's look at New Orleans for the next 8 months. Actually, I don't want to do 8. I'm going to do 6 because I don't care about elections for New Orleans. I'm not a resident. I'm a Florida resident. I think John Bell Edwards is adorbs, and I think he's doing a great job balancing. I think he's neutral. I think he's middle ground. I really like middle ground in politics. Okay, New Orleans. Show us, go above our brains into the infinite field, finding true and accurate facts and information about our fair city. I'd like to see New Orleans for the next 6 months. It's tourism, it's money, it's health. What happens to the population? How do things get rolling again? And what phases of things, you know, when do things come on board, and whom? And in what phases? For the city of New Orleans, for rest of April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I do want to see October because those are the months that the festivals have tentatively been moved to, Fringe Quarter Fest and Jazz Fest. So we need to know about what happens with those. For New Orleans, thank you. So must it be. I used to talk to my cards. You know, it's a relationship. It's a person. It's a person. It's not a human. I shouldn't even use the word person. Being of great renown. You know, it's a long time now we've been friends. Meh. Yeah, okay. Better than the United States, actually, because the people are happier. I think New Orleans is a city that has less government control than anywhere I've lived. I really like it for that reason. It's too much of a free spirit here. I mean, the people just go, meh, really? Huh? Rest of April, early May is drinking. Yeah, we're all drinking. But it's a nice little water card, isn't it? It's naive. It's nascent. It has a little bit of a freshness to it. I think anybody who should go down to the river, the Mississippi, and get some water. I'd take an orange juice bottle on a really secure string that's tied on around the neck so it can't come off. And I have about 5-block walk to the levee on the Holy Cross side. I live in the 9th Ward on Lower 9th. I walk down to the edge of the water and I toss my bottle in and pull it in as I'm asking Mother Mississippi to bring that womb fluid to me. It's a healing agent. It's a salt water. It's a holy water. It's in motion. It's cleansing. And if you can get some, and if you can't get it that way, New Orleans drinking water comes out of the Mississippi River. Of course, it's treated heavily with millions of chemicals and lots of processing, but it is from the Mississippi River. So get a glass of it. Put it on your altar. 8 of Cups. So April into May. Striving. We're trying to get somewhere. We're going to higher ground. It's really interesting. There might be more flooding of the river. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and predict that. I think it gets to pretty high stage from rains above us, and if it rains here, the ground's pretty saturated, and I think we had some flooding last spring, didn't we? Like some heavy rains and some water coming in. Still muddy waters with government money and stuff trickling down. I think people also are going to close businesses and leave in June. Some of them just aren't going to be able to have the money to do it. They're just not. They see the writing on the wall. June, July, 10 of Cups, happy family, the rainbow of promise in the sky. This is when we can see that some things are going to be okay. Also, they might not rule out all festivals. Let's see how that goes. They might make some rules about volume of people. Maybe they're smaller, maybe they're more spread out with less things, but let's see if they don't make it possible that we can do some of our bigger events. July, August, September, well, it's not horrible. It's an internal time. We're still focused on stuff that we are working on now, our inner being, our closets. I still think it shows kind of ups and downs with the city. It's happy and nice a little bit, and then there's a bit of a slow period again. We already know that's the cycle in New Orleans because we're a tourist city. Through October and the festivals, I think there's a prevailing of Our Lady of New Orleans. I think there's a prevailing of Our Lady of New Orleans. The weddings that are going to happen in October get to happen. That may be the extent of the crowd gathering, something for 50 maybe people, maybe 100 in a large space. Certainly probably a lot more encouragement of outdoor activities. And the people with the backbone and the money in the bank will be open and thriving in October. And some people are going to have to leave because they didn't have enough resources to stay. And I think the people are happier in New Orleans. I'll just say that. I think there's reason for happiness because there's joy. There's real joy here from a lot of years of sadness. And someone said to me recently, are you feeling so much more ghost activity? And I said, oh yeah, it's pretty hot. And Mimi and I were talking about this. It's pretty hot over here in Lower Ninth because there's a lot of Katrina death where I live. And when other people are dying in the same households, which is true today, then those ghosts of their ancestors are noticing it and making some noise. So I think that goes on. I think it goes on through October. Okay, this is what I want to talk about that's quick, and I've only got 3 minutes. If you'd like to book personal readings, go to hexwitch.com, click on readings on the top bar, and then choose Hex New Orleans. You can choose 15-minute or 30-minute phone readings, or you can choose a 30-minute Zoom reading, which is face-to-face on camera as opposed to ear-to-ear. And you can choose your psychic, and every psychic in New Orleans that works for Hex and Omen is excellent, and every psychic that works for Hex and Omen in Salem is excellent. Read about us. We're cool. We've all got a bunch of different skill sets and come from different backgrounds, so at least read who works for them and who's great as readers. Really fabulous people. You can book readings every day and for many hours because a number of psychics will be open and available on a calendar system. It's easy to see who you like and when they're open, and then click the time and book it for yourself. Hexwitch.com also is the place to go for classes. All the readers and mediums and psychics and all of our staff are so knowledgeable. I mean, these are all witchcraft and occult people. They have to be to work for Christian and Brian. There's just no way you can't know anything. They know great things. We're a group of really strongly educated and experienced occult practitioners and workers who've been in it for a long time. All of us have been voluntold to create some classes pronto and get them recorded online so that we can teach online. Wow, we've really done it. I'm going to go to classes on hexwitch.com, and there's a calendar. You can look at April, you can look at May, the listings, the descriptions, the teachers, great stuff. I'm going to read you some choices that are coming up. And there's something called the On-Demand Library, which shows things we've already taught and recorded. So I have some classes there. Intro to Palmistry, Intro to Tarot. So you can get them past tense and still buy that and have it on video and watch it over and over. If you watch it live, even though it's virtual, you can type in your questions and the teacher will respond to you in the class. If you watch it later, you don't get to do that, but you can watch it as many times as you want to. April the 16th on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, Mahali and Micalla, two of our other excellent psychics, are going to do the 2 split screen Instagram interview, 8 p.m., and that's called Between Two Witches, and that is at wizard_at_large, wizard at large, that's Mahali, and at Saturn Vox, SATURNVOX, is Micalla at Instagram. Saturn Vox, wizard at large. Find them, like them, follow them, and watch their live card reading and interview of each other. And then we'll be introducing other of those little conversations. And then I want to talk about, I'm just going to give you a smattering of, like, I wrote down 2 long pages of all these fabulous classes. I'll start with Christian Day's class, The Royal Road. It's his weeks-long series on tarot. That's what he's known for originally, probably one of his strongest, oldest subjects. It starts on April the 16th, Thursday, and it runs for multiple weeks, and you can sign up for that. That's a really rare opportunity as far as I'm concerned, to study really with Christian Day personally and get to see all of his knowledge and techniques and ask questions week after week. It's pretty unprecedented. Then Brian Kane, his husband and co-owner of Hex and Omen and all their festivals, did a class already on initiatory witchcraft, and he just did his Gods of Witchcraft class. Those are both in the on-demand library. Mahali just did Intro to Personal Magic Self-Defense, and he's doing 3 classes which really taken together are fabulous for fundamentals of protection. That he just taught. Working with Spirits and Deities for Protection by Mahali, and one more on protecting your home. I'll come to it. It's written down here, but I can't see it. Altar Building by Jade. She works in our shop here in New Orleans. She's been around everything for years as far as altars, so she's showing how to set one up. Legacy of Lilith by Michael Herkes, who's just published a great book on Lilith. And he's also teaching glamour magic. If you look at him online, he's got it going on the pretty department. He's really cute and adorable in person. Witchcraft as a Career, Christian Day. Advanced Protection Magic, that's Mahali. Tarot and Astrology by Micalla. She's using the Thoth deck, and she's talking about the classic Golden Dawn correspondences between traditional astrology and the tarot deck. Foundational knowledge. If you read tarot, you need to know this stuff. You don't have to use it all the time, but you need to know it. Sex Magic and Beyond with Michael Carell. He's fun online. I watch his live videos sometimes. Sex Magic and Beyond, Michael. I'll challenge you to not wear your sunglasses during that class. Nature Spirits with Chris Allen. I'm sorry I don't know Chris and pronouncing their last name. Nature Spirits. I think they're from Salem. Also with Chris Allen, Rebel Witchcraft, Conjuring Lucifer. We need to know that. Gee whiz, you know. I'm teaching tarot discussion for professionals. This is the second half of May. Take that first class, Intro to Tarot. I have a big handout with that class. This class is not meanings of tarot cards. This is what I really have to do and go through to read with clients for money. The psychic process I go through, the protective process I go through, how I handle a variety of really difficult situations with my live clients. Treading the Tree of Life, that's Micalla. Kabbalah, basic intro, not difficult to follow along with. She's a brilliant woman. She has a degree in philosophy and comparative religion, and she knows how to study and present material in a really nice sequence with a lot of sense making. Mysteries of Psychic Mediumship by Leanne in Salem, and Dream Interpretation by Leanne in Salem. She's our #1 medium. I go to her when I need help as a reader. So just really great opportunities with her. Witch's Wheel of the Year with Jason Mankey. I think this is such a great idea. We all need to go over this periodically. You know, it's a really important nugget to witchcraft. And what a great, he's so funny and cute. What a great way to just see it and hear about it in a really absorbable way. The Wheel of the Year for witches. Making fire cider and herbal cold care, both with Cassandra Campbell. She's also from Salem. Those are really needed how-to in the kitchen. Mimi did a great kitchen witchery class. That's on the on-demand library. Just how we were talking about, we think witchcraft started in the kitchen. Of course it did. You had a pot and you had some stuff in it. You had some fire. That's what was in the kitchen. You had a spoon. And you were talking while you were making it, and you were saying what you needed to happen. Yeah, hell yeah. Do it. Love it. Sacrificial Magic and Celtic Paganism with Carly Dwyer. I don't know Carly either, but I read the description of this class. Really looks great if you're interested in the Scottish, English, Irish, Norse traditions, their temples, and what their philosophies really were. Take that class. Christian's Royal Road. So look at classes. Please book readings. Read about the readers. We'll help you with your personal, individual life questions. And stay safe and enjoy yourself. Go to hexwitch.com. Omen Salem or OmenNewOrleans.com to see our psychics and products at those shops. Reach out to us if we can help you. I'm Ellie Barnes Psychic on Facebook, and I am at Ellie.Barnes on Instagram. Try to look for my videos in the future. Okay, bye.